Hey, what's going on, everybody? We're back at CC Titletown headquarters. How you guys doing tonight? My name's Chris. My co-host Cam. How you doing tonight, Cam?
I'm doing great, Chris. Thank you. We've got Scott, who's going to be our moderator, next to us here.
We have a couple of great topics to go over. We're going to first start with the Super Bowl, which is just around the corner, just a few days away. It's Thursday the 30th right now, for those of you that see this, so this is before the Super Bowl. We have the 49ers playing the Chiefs.
That's right.
Down in Miami.
That's right.
Super exciting matchup. I haven't been this excited for a Super Bowl in a long time.
I haven't either. And if you look at the spread right now, it's pretty even. It might end up being a pick'em.
Pick'em, yeah.
So I know who you're gonna go with. I know who I'm gonna go with. But
I guess they're not the same.
Yeah, they're not the same, and that's why this is a debate podcast. Oh wow. But yeah. So
who do you have winning?
I've got the Chiefs.
Okay. Dog you.
Do you want me to tell you why?
Yes.
I'm not going to start with the obvious reason, okay? Obviously.
There's no obvious reason.
Really?
Go ahead.
Who's their quarterback? Anyways.
Anyways.
So the one thing that surprised me about the Kansas City Chiefs in their AFC Championship game was the way that they defended the run against the Titans. Now, the Titans and Derrick Henry had been on a crazy run, no pun intended. He had like over 180 yards rushing, I think, through the last 4 games?
Three
or four straight games where he had over 180 yards rushing, and they held him to, the Chiefs held him to 69 yards, and that is at 3.6 yards per carry. So the Chiefs proved to me that they could stop an elite run game, which that is something that the San Francisco 49ers are going to try and do. They're going to try and run the ball because Jimmy G is not going to win you the game, by himself.
He showed that he can. There's been games this year where he showed that he can.
That's the regular season, Chris. This is the Super Bowl.
Okay, well, okay.
I understand. Look, I'm not taking anything away from Jimmy G. I think he eventually can, mold himself into a good quarterback. I think he's solid right now. He's a game manager. He's good on third down. I get it. He sounds a lot like Tom Brady. The San Francisco 49ers sound a lot like the Patriots did back in the day when they had Tom Brady, a young Tom Brady. But I don't think that formula is going to beat this Chiefs team because, one, I'll go to the obvious point as to why they're going to win this game, Patrick Mahomes. When he starts, they average 33 points a game, and that is actually the highest in NFL history for any player.
Would you
for
say
any starting quarterback?
The Chiefs are one-dimensional? I think that's fair to say. They're very one-dimensional.
Okay.
They can't run the ball. They can't. Their run game, I think, is through this year has been middle of the pack. I think they're like 17th in rushing.
Yeah.
I think San Fran's like 5th in rushing. This is regular season. Just bear in mind, regular season.
Yeah.
But they're very one-dimensional. And in the playoffs, I'll tell you that they cannot have slow starts like they've had against the Titans and Houston. If you're down 21-0 to San Francisco like you were against Houston, you're not coming back. That is the best defense they've seen all season, by far. They're going to play a lot of zone. The Chiefs are going to run a lot of run-pass options. But I think if the San Francisco's front four will be enough to pressure Mahomes with the zone coverage. Because, like I said, they're a one-dimensional team. They're not going to run on San Francisco, that's for sure. So Mahomes is going to have to beat them.
Because they're not. Listen, Kansas City's not going to try and run the ball. They can't
run the ball.
Well,
So
they don't
they're
run
not
the
going
ball.
to
That's
try
not they've won 12 games by throwing the ball. So I mean, you can say they're a one-dimensional team, but nobody can stop their passing offense. Nobody can stop Mahomes. Nobody can stop Tyreek Hill. Nobody can stop Travis Kelce. And then you've got Mecole Hardman.
Yeah, they're
and Sammy
loaded.
Watkins.
They're loaded.
At the receiver position.
They are loaded.
And then you got Andy Reid, who is arguably an offensive genius, calling plays.
Yeah.
So, and this is his kind of. I think Andy Reid has a lot to gain here in this Super Bowl, obviously, because he's been criticized for, clock management in big time games. What's the biggest thing for a team? Time of possession. And they're not good at it. And you know why? But guess what? They don't need to be.
against
They
a
don't
team
need
like
to be good
this.
Because they're putting up points.
They put up too many points.
Against the best team, best defense in the playoffs, or the
Left.
season.
Second
Left.
best. Second
Easy.
best team.
Again, who's the first? Do you think?
First defensively.
Yeah,
The Patriots were
I
the
agree.
first
I
team.
think that one or two.
Mm-hmm.
Time of possession is gonna matter. You're gonna be limited on the amount of possessions that you have in this game, and if they can't stop the run game, because they have San Francisco has 3 running backs that can beat you in 3 different ways.
I get you. I watched the game last week.
220 yards
Mostert. What's his
Mostert?
Mostert. Might as well
out of nowhere.
change his last name to
Out of-
Monster.
How
out of
because,
nowhere.
insane is that guy?
yeah,
Literally crazy.
yeah, I get it.
So time of possession is key.
Mm-hmm.
I get with the Chiefs' offense, they don't. That's not even they don't even probably worry about time of possession. But in the Super Bowl, it's gonna matter. The amount of plays you run, the amount of series you get is gonna be important. They're not gonna go on a 40-0 run like they did against Houston. That's
Listen,
not gonna happen.
Listen, I'm not saying that if San Francisco has a 40 has the ball for 40 minutes and then Kansas City only has it 20 minutes, that Kansas City's going to win the game. I don't think it's going to be that big of a difference, because I'll tell you something that you probably didn't know about Kansas City this year. Their defense has greatly improved. They're only giving up 19.2 points per game, and that's 7th in the National Football League.
That's pretty good.
And I want to say that the 49ers gave up 19.9.
I think they're very similar.
It's very close. Also, the Kansas City has given up, or has had 45 sacks. San Francisco 48 sacks.
Let's talk about what they've done the last
Okay.
2 weeks in the playoffs.
I'm just hey, we talk about time of possession and defenses. Kansas City's defense is no slouch. It's more middle of the pack than than San Francisco is, but it's no slouch defense. It's a lot better than last year.
Yeah, but
If
you're
they
talking
had-
about the playoffs. They
Listen.
give up points. They give up 31 to Houston, and I think
They gave up seven in
17.
the second half.
that's okay. 31 points total.
7
If
in the
they-
second
like I
half,
said, they
and
get
some
down-
of those, and one of those was some of those points were caused by a turnover on a punt. They got the ball inside the 5. Of course, they're going to score.
If they get down early, they're not going to have a chance. San Francisco held the Minnesota Vikings, who have a high-powered offense. Don't act like they don't. Dalvin Cook was one of the best rushers in the league this year. One of the best receiving corps in the league. What's his name? Thielen was hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Held him to 10 points. The Packers to 20 points. Those are good offenses with a lot of weapons.
Pretty good offenses. Yeah.
To 20 and 10.
Do any of them have weapons like the Kansas City Chiefs?
Yes.
No. Are you serious?
Aaron Rodgers isn't on Mahomes' level.
Not anymore.
Not as good. He's on his level.
No. He's not on his level if he's not as good.
He is.
He's not. You can look at the QBRs. You can look at the stats this year in the last 2 years.
Let's look at them this year. We can look at them this year. We can say that for later.
Okay.
Because I got something for that.
We
Don't
will.
you
That's
worry.
fine. That's fine. We can do that.
So you guys are talking about the playoffs and how teams are performing now, but not taking too much into consideration about
I
the
don't think
regular season. But this is the Super Bowl. I think any team can come out and perform anyway, any
a
sort
lot
of
of
way.
things
So
can change.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not that this is going to happen. Maybe the Chiefs come out running the ball down their throats. I don't see that happening.
I don't see that happening either, but
it would be pretty risky to
It wouldn't
all of
work.
a sudden.
It wouldn't work.
I don't think it would work. But look, I don't want to sit here and say that the Chiefs' offense is just any regular offense. It's not. This is a juggernaut.
Right.
Like and San Francisco has not seen a team like this.
I don't think they've seen a defense like I think
agree.
I would say the 49ers defense is equivalent to the Chiefs offense. Like
Not
the game,
quite.
I think the game's going to be close.
It'll be close.
I think it'll be a 3 to 7 point game.
Mm-hmm.
I take the 49ers. I don't think the Chiefs are going to shut down the rushing offense like they did against Tennessee.
Okay.
I personally don't think so.
I mean, I'm not saying they're going to hold them to 69 yards rushing, but I mean, I don't see them going off for 250.
That would be
Necessarily.
amazing. But I also don't think Jimmy G is incapable of leading a drive for a touchdown either.
He's not incapable of that.
No, I think he's
a solid.
I think he could have. Like I said, there's been games where he has won them the game.
Mm-hmm.
He can do it, but why? He hasn't needed to. If you have 3 running backs, they're gonna get you 220 yards on the ground,
Mhm.
and he only has to throw the ball 14 times. I'll take that all day.
Look,
Those running backs are fresh all game long. They don't get tired because they got 3 of them.
Jimmy G is averaging 104 yards passing in the playoffs. I'm sorry, I don't think any quarterback has ever won a Super Bowl doing that. I'd have
Not
to
yet.
check.
Flacco?
Maybe.
Flacco?
I'm pretty sure he averaged more than that.
Right.
I mean,
It
let's
could
be
be
honest.
good. It could
Not
be
not
good.
in recent history. Obviously, the game has changed quite a bit over the past 10, 15, 20 years. But look, you talk about San Francisco's defense and their defensive line. Kansas City has allowed the 3rd fewest sacks in the NFL this year, 25.
They have a great offensive line.
They do.
They have that offense in general is just loaded.
Listen, if you do not, if they don't get pressure with that front four, they will lose. Easily.
I think their 49ers defensive line is loaded.
It's good.
I mean,
It's
it's
good.
gonna be a matchup.
It's going to be a great matchup, but I'm telling you.
But Mahomes is like, I don't want to get too deep in Mahomes because we're talking about it later.
Mhm.
Mahomes is like he's gonna get his guy. He's always gonna get his. He's that good. He's gonna get his. But who's gonna help him when he needs help this game? Who's gonna help him? They're not well rounded like the 49ers are across the board on offense and defense.
The 49ers don't really have a pass game. They have Kittle.
Mm.
Name a receiver.
Emmanuel Sanders, Debo Samuel. They got some guys.
Are they Tyreek Hill?
No, they're not
Are
as
they-
good. They're not as good. That's not what I'm saying. But they have weapons.
Are any of those guys Patrick Mahomes?
No.
Okay.
Jimmy Garoppolo threw for 77 yards last against the Green Bay Packers.
8 times. He threw the ball 8
Eight times. And they won by 17. They put up 37 points. We haven't even seen a game.
Turnovers, I get it.
Like-
Aaron Rodgers was not great in the first half.
No, but
He
that's what I'm
fumbled,
saying.
gave them good field position.
We don't need Garoppolo to be somebody he's not. Just go out there, run the offense. If they need him to throw for a drive to get him, he can, is what I'm saying.
Okay.
Besides Mahomes, they got nobody.
I just named you guys.
Yeah, what I'm saying is, what if he's not having a good game? What if their coverage is, what are they going to do?
Has Mahomes had a bad game?
I'm sure he's had a bad game.
A bad game.
He lost 4 games, so, I mean,
And
at some point...
49ers lost 3. They lost a game to the Falcons. Okay.
What do you think, Scott?
Come on.
Damn. I think, like you said, what the spread is, it's going to be a toss-up. But I'll take the team that can run the ball as a whole team better than anybody, and as a defense that is better than anybody, than a quarterback that's outstanding.
Listen,
Response?
I think that Patrick Mahomes
I need a whistle.
covers up a lot of
Flaws?
He covered up a lot. Listen, no, he covered up a lot of flaws last year on the defensive side of the ball. Okay, if they had this year's defense, they're in the Super Bowl, and I bet you they win that Super Bowl against the Rams. Okay, so you give that team, they lost to the Patriots in overtime. Patrick Mahomes didn't even get to touch the ball in overtime.
I hate that rule, by the way.
Exactly, it's a terrible rule.
Awful.
You flip that, Mahomes is in the Super Bowl, he probably wins MVP and a Super Bowl. Guess what? If he wins the Super Bowl,
Wait, so I'm sorry. You said if they had this year's defense last year?
yes.
Maybe.
And
Patriots
guess what?
held the Rams to 3 points. That offense was insane last year. They held them to 3 points. Chiefs defense this year, last year, any year in their entire history was not holding that offense to 3 points, regardless.
Anyways, okay, but what did New England do to the Chiefs offense last year? I'm pretty sure it was like a 30-point game, right?
Yeah, it's like 34, 31 or something.
Something like, anyways. Listen, the Chiefs' offense is even, I could argue that it's even better this year. Mahomes doesn't have the numbers
Hell no, he
necessarily
doesn't.
because he's been hurt, whatever.
He missed
but
2 games.
he was hurt. He got hurt, so you count, half of that game, and then it took him a whole game to get back, really. And then they had the bye week.
So you want to count 4 games?
2.5, 3. But anyways, what I'm saying is, I think that this defense is much improved. They've got a new defensive coordinator. I've got his name here, Spagnuolo, who has greatly improved their defense. I mean, they went from arguably the worst
they could
to
have
middle
gotten
of the pack.
worse.
They've improved a lot.
Yeah, they ranked
So,
17th
listen,
in the NFL. In defense.
Patrick Mahomes is still Patrick Mahomes, and they've got a much improved defense this year. I mean, I think they're going to win. With all those weapons surrounding them, no question.
I definitely think it's a question. First of all, their defense this year is 17th, so they must have been low 20s. 49ers defense, second overall in the league this season. Anyway, I said my final point basically earlier. The run game that the 49ers have, that nobody's been able to stop, the Chiefs aren't just going to all of a sudden jump out of nowhere and stop all three of those guys.
Could anyone stop Derrick Henry?
No, but that's one guy. Guy gets tired. 30 carries a game. He doesn't get tired.
He didn't get tired the last 3 weeks of the season, 4 weeks of the season.
I bet he was
leading up to that
I bet
game.
he's tired. But you got 3 fresh legs coming in all game long. And if that time of possession gets out of control, that defense is going to get tired. And it's going to put this game, Mahomes has the most pressure on him than almost anybody ever in the entire NFL history. I believe. Most pressure ever.
Most pressure ever.
He's going to, because if he doesn't lose, he's going to get that biggest contract he's in the NFL
He's
history.
going to get the biggest contract in the NFL history regardless.
So what's going to be his excuse if he loses? He ain't going to have one.
It's not really going to be an excuse. You got to win your games. I get it. But if he balls out and they lose, what can you really say? Okay, the defense.
Yeah, exactly. It'll always be somebody else's fault. That's always been Aaron Rodgers' thing. Never been his fault. It's always been somebody else's fault. So
Poor Aaron Rodgers.
we're gonna leave it at that.
Whatever.
Let's go. Final score predictions, real quick.
I need some ice.
Hold on. I'll get you your ice in a second.
It's gonna be low scoring.
I think it's going to be 28-24.
Yep.
Chiefs.
Chiefs ain't getting that 31 they average. That's for sure.
It's okay. They're playing good.
Final
defense.
score prediction.
It's gonna be 27-24.
Niners.
Niners. All day.
Cool.
Now can I have the ice, please?
Yeah.
Give him the damn
Here you
ice.
go, man.
Thank you.
I'm gonna have to
You're
eat
gonna need
this.
that
I
for
know.
that meeting.
I'm gonna have to take a bite of this pretty soon.
You should have
Unfortunately.
been eating all that
Um,
already.
Pretty good points you guys made. Obviously, my personal opinion. I don't know who's gonna win this game.
It really is a toss-up.
I think it's gonna be a
It's
great
gonna be
game.
close.
It's
It
gonna
is.
be close.
We had our
Hopefully,
great
it's
points.
fun. One really good defense versus one high-powered offense. So
What
We'll
are
see.
your predictions? But this does not affect your argument decision. What do you think the score is going to be? This isn't you choosing who you think won. But if you had to pick, what would you pick?
oh man,
I know
It's a tough one.
it really is.
This was tough to debate.
I
Could have
love
gone either way.
I love watching the Chiefs offense. I love watching Mahomes. I think he's amazing. Kind of a guy that came out of college not without the high expectations of a lot of guys who were drafted above him.
Let's not talk about that
Obviously.
draft.
We could get there. I mean, we've talked about that before, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Then on the flip side, you got the 49ers and their amazing defense. Chris has made a lot of good points about the running backs. Shout out Mostert. That's his name, right? How you
Coleman,
pronounce
Matt
that?
Breida,
Mustard Mostert.
They're loaded.
He's a Purdue guy, so. But yeah, I mean, unbiased, not picking sides right now. Opinion, I say Chiefs win by a touchdown.
Okay. We'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see. All right.
Well,
I'm dying to know.
Who won?
I'm dying to know.
I wish I had an audience to help me determine the winner or loser of this.
One day, maybe.
Yeah.
One day, a studio audience.
Yeah.
I think you both made very valid points tonight.
I'm nervous. Come on.
Drum roll.
Are you pointing to the winner or the loser?
I'm gonna point to the winner.
Oh God.
Yes, sir.
Come on.
I knew it. Why do you think I came dressed so fresh, Chris?
He was looking good tonight. He was
Hey.
talking good tonight. Made a lot of good points. So did you, Chris. It all comes down to I don't like you as much.
I know. So tell me, I want to know what you think. Why?
What do you guys think?
What do you think? I want to know what you think. Tell
About
me why you think his points were better.
What do I have to say? I choose the winner. That's all that matters.
All right. You heard it.
Yes.
Scott chose Cameron as the winner, which means I will have a punishment at the very beginning of next episode. Next week. I can't wait, as you can tell. Someone else close this episode, please.
Hey, thank you guys for checking us out. We're on YouTube, Google Play, and Apple Podcasts. So please, if you're not already subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. Like we mentioned in our introductory episode on video, we're going to be more active on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter. So be on the lookout for that. And, let us know who you guys thought won the debate.
Yeah,
We'd love to hear
let
from
us
our
know
audience.
why I really was right.
Listen, I know I was right. I knew I was going to be right. The moment I walked in here, I was prepared. And yeah. So,
Maybe Chris will dress a little nicer next time.
No, I won't. I would not.
hey, thank you guys for tuning in.
Thank
you
so
guys.
much.
Yeah, next week.